Hello everybody, hope y'all are doing fantastic whenever you're watching this. I'm recording this here on a Friday. Hope to have this out either late tonight, if not sometime tomorrow on Saturday. So what we're going to be doing here today is I've been kind of diving into this Malik McDowell story, and I've just been very fascinated. Like, this is about as good as a second chance story as you're going to see. And I think for the Browns, in my opinion, and I know this could be a hot take, I think Malik McDowell could have a Wyatt Teller-style impact on the Browns this season. So, before we get into this, if you do, please like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy this. You don't have to, but that's one way to help us out here. So, let's go ahead and dive into this. Malik McDowell is 6'6", 300 pounds. He's currently 25 years old. Drafted in 2017 in the second round with the 35th pick by the Seattle Seahawks. So borderline first-round pick, right? And the belief was that he was a for sure first-round pick when he was coming out into the NFL draft. Malik McDowell was incredible at Michigan State. He had 50 solo tackles, 38 assists. That's 88 combined. He played the most, I should say, in 2015 and the 2016 season. While at Michigan State, they went 23-4 in 2014 and 2015, reached the college football playoffs. So he was on a very, very good Michigan State football team. This is not like Michigan State last year, the year before. This was the good Michigan State team. And for Malik McDowell coming out, there was a lot of hype with him. At his size and his athleticism, he was incredible from that defensive tackle position. He never played a regular season game for the Seattle Seahawks, okay? He played in the preseason, and then from there, things went south. He had an ATV accident in 2017 that derailed him. He had a DUI. He had a altercation with a police officer. And the Browns recently signed him 1 year being out of jail. They've been paying attention to him, where he's at right now mentally, physically. Can he come back? The Browns took a chance on him. And in his last interview, he was meeting with the media. He said, quote, "When I was in jail, it gave me a lot of time to think about what I wanted to do with my life and where it was headed. That really gave me the motivation to push and try to fight back to get back to what I had lost." And listen, I think Malik McDowell is just as talented as people thought he was coming out. This is a kid who was a 5-star in high school, had an incredible college career at Michigan State. He's got the athleticism. He's got the physical traits that you're looking for. With Malik McDowell, he made the 53-man roster for the Browns this year. And a lot of people, including myself, thought when we signed him, here we go again, right? The Browns took chances on these style of guys before, most recently being Antonio Callaway. But you can go back to the obvious. Josh Gordon. We know what happened there. You can go back to another obvious. Johnny Manziel. And there's been many more. This is something that the Browns do. They like to take chances on these guys. But to me, I think Malik McDowell is a little bit different. This is somebody who, while he's had his off-the-field issues, I think the Browns really do believe he has cleaned his life up. Obviously, with Josh Gordon, there was a lot of talk about him getting back and all the comeback, but it never was realistic. He always kept falling back into his personal struggles, and it never worked out. With Malik McDowell, the Browns have had eyes on him for a long time. They've been keeping up with him ever since he got out of jail. His physical, abilities, where he's at. And they liked it. They believe, what he has said. He told Andrew Berry that he's ready. He's committed to this comeback. Andrew Berry took a chance. So now he's made the 53. And let's talk about his future here with the Browns. Like I said, I think he can have a Wyatt Teller-style impact for the Browns this season. The Browns have an interesting situation on that defensive line. They cut some key guys, especially at the defensive end position. And in the offseason, the Browns went out and completely reloaded the defensive line. Jadeveon Clowney. They go out and they draft Tommy Togiai out of Ohio State. They bring in Marvin Wilson. They bring in Malik Jackson. They bring over Joe Jackson. They bring in Cameron Malveaux. Porter Gustin's still there. They bring in Curtis Weaver last offseason. There's somebody I'm forgetting. Takk McKinley. They go out and they bring in a bunch of new guys. There was only a few left on this defensive line from the previous season. Myles Garrett, obviously. Jordan Elliott. So it was a little bit interesting. And they lost guys, right? They bring in Andrew Billings. He was out last year, opted out. They needed to figure this defensive line out because there was a lot of question marks. So they signed Malik McDowell. They take a chance on him. And lo and behold, he has the incredible preseason that he does, right? In this last preseason game against Atlanta, this man was in the backfield embarrassing guards and centers wherever he was lined up, just pushing them back and manhandling them. It looked like a man with boys playing out there. And, for Malik McDowell, that's what he had to do. Not only did he need to prove to the team that he was good off the field, but the reality is he has not played football in a long time. Can he still do it? Is he in that shape? And looking at where we're at this point, the Browns, with him making the final 53, now the room has kind of cleared out, right? At the defensive tackle position, you're looking at Malik Jackson, Andrew Billings, unfortunately. I was one of many who has not been thrilled with what I've seen from Andrew Billings this offseason, this preseason, and frankly, heading into the season, I don't think he should play a lot. But regardless, so Andrew Billings, Jordan Elliott, Tommy Togiai, and Malik McDowell. So, and I do believe there's more, but, the Browns cut a lot of guys. They brought in a lot of guys, and they cut a lot of guys. So it's not like he didn't have competition, because if you look at that room, that was probably the most competitive position on the Cleveland Browns heading into the 2021 season. So heading into this Chiefs game week 1, I think Malik McDowell should get a lot of playing time. The Browns have so much physicality now on that defensive line. Myles Garrett is a specimen. Jadeveon Clowney is a specimen. And now you bring in Malik McDowell at 6'6", 300 pounds, and just bull rushing like he does. There are specific packages for him. And I think for the Browns, what they're hoping to get in Andrew Billings, I think Malik McDowell can bring that. Now, obviously, Billings was brought in to be more of the run stuffer style of defensive tackle, at his size, being as big as he is, almost too big. It's hard to push those guys around. And the Browns were hoping that he was going to be able to really fill that middle of the defensive line. But given what we've seen so far, to me, McDowell is the guy who you should put in and fill in. Because another thing, with these young guys, Tommy Togiai, Jordan Elliott's looked great so far in the preseason, but he's still young. Tommy Togiai, first year in the NFL. There's got to be a learning curve with these guys. And Malik Jackson was brought in as a veteran who's done great things with the Eagles, with Jacksonville, even back when with Denver and their Super Bowl win, I should say. And, I think that the Browns this season, they completely reloaded that secondary, right? The entire defense brings in roughly 11 new starters, especially in the secondary, right? And even you can look at the linebacker position, a ton of new guys. So, in my opinion, I think that Malik McDowell should get a lot of playing time because, number one, and he knows what it's like to have to maintain a position in the NFL. He knows how quickly you can lose it and how quickly you can lose everything. He could be released tomorrow. And I think that's valuable for the Browns. This is such a young team. And even at 25 years old, he's still young. He could turn out to be incredible. Who knows? He might be on the Browns for the next, 3-4 years if he's great. But to me, Malik McDowell brings exactly what the Browns needed. A guy who is physical, athletic, and can move guys from the middle. If you have somebody like Malik McDowell in the middle with somebody as experienced as Malik Jackson, with those two on the outside, with Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney, watch out. This could be an incredible season. And I think, with the secondary being so new, that's going to take a lot of time to gel. To me, in my opinion, I don't think it's as hard for the defensive line to kind of get things together more quickly and become more of a unit. So I believe that the Browns are in a great spot. I think for Malik McDowell, this is a great opportunity, and he is primed and ready to take the next step in his career and get back on the path that originally was hoped when he was taken 35 overall by the Seattle Seahawks. So let me know your thoughts. Do you think Malik McDowell is going to be a big impact player for the Browns this season? And let me know what you're expecting for him. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye.